Hey Joey, it's Monday. I'm thinking that we might want to move these to Tuesdays only because I typically don't have good amount of time on Mondays to really think about what I'm going to talk about, especially because the weekends are usually really busy for me. But today, I wanted to talk about community again. And I think particularly I wanted to talk about how community is built on people who make effort to do something. This weekend, I had a very eventful weekend. I had a birthday party on Friday. I had a housewarming on Saturday evening, and then I had a another birthday party on Sunday. Also, don't mind my eye. I got a sty, and so like bacteria got caught up, or bacteria, and then like oil got clogged up. I'm still trying to fix it. I did get this thing where like it heats up you like microwave it to heat it up, and then hopefully it'll melt the clogged up bacteria. But can't stop looking at that. But it's fine. Anyway, I was just thinking about how cool all of these people were that I was hanging out with because they really took a lot of time out of their month to help plan these amazing events. The first event was a presentation night where a lot of people presented different things. It was actually very cool. It was my first time doing a presentation night, and I never really thought of it as something that would be cool in practice. I always thought it was like some gimmicky thing, but after experiencing it and seeing how excited people were and interesting the different topics were, I felt like it was something that I might try, but definitely something that I appreciated. One of the topics that I really enjoyed was this idea about how we are not categorizing animals in the right way when we define their intelligence. We always say that, oh, humans are far more superior than, let's say, tigers because they can't recognize themselves when they look in the mirror. But that's the same thing as saying, oh, if we base our smartness in our ability to fly, we weren't built like that. And the presentation was talking about all the different ways that animals are smart, but in a ways that like humans don't really think about that. One of the examples was how fungi help communicate with each other so that way they can help other trees, which is funny because it's an episode that you and I were thinking about doing a few months ago. That one was also really cool. I also learned about Fifth Harmony. I didn't know who Fifth Harmony was. I'm not really a pop culture guy, but Fifth Harmony and their progression to Camila Cabello and how that all happened. And I thought that was really fascinating because they also made a distinction between that and what's happening with Cat's Eye, or when they eventually disperse. The other thing was that I learned about design, which was really interesting. I'll have to send you the PowerPoint when I get my hands on it. The next day, I went to a housewarming party, and that was really wholesome just because it was nice to see people come together. But my friend made a bunch of these cute, small snacks that people can eat while they were at the housewarming. The house looked really nice, the drinks were really good, and I just thought that was a really great way to have people hang out with each other. The last one was I went to a birthday party, but this was a themed birthday party, and instead of a presentation night, it was actually a Mario Kart drunk driving like tournament where each time we started a new race, we would have to take shots, and eventually we all got drunk, which was the point. And it was really fun just because it was like it brought people together. And what was really cool was that I can see that my friend's intention was really strong in creating this event, because by the end of it, as we were presenting who was going to be the winner, because it was like a tournament style bracket, he comes out with a full body costume suit of a race car driver, and he bought like a legit trophy that was awarded to the winner of this tournament. And he declared how he wanted to do a better job with hosting events because his previous game nights weren't the best, or at least to his standard, which I don't know, but I thought they were really fun. And that how he now wants to make it more intentional, and that this is going to be an annual thing that our friend group does. And as we were taking the final group photo, I was reminded how a lot of these memories that I have as someone who's in my 20s is because someone decided to put in the effort to make the time to do the planning and bring people together to create a memory. And it reminded me how a lot of my friends who either have like their own different things, but they invite me because they want me to be there, and how that adds so much color and flavor to my life. I have friends who are super into concerts, so they always invite me. Friends who are super into raves, so they always invite me. Friends who are into like these intimate dinner parties, and they always invite me. The friends who are into game nights who always invite me. Friends who are into community work who invite me. And I feel like my life would be so different if I didn't have people who were very proactive in their own life who were inviting me to these things. And so when I think about how last year I was throwing a bunch of events and how it was really tiring and how it did drain my energy at times, that it's also important to throw these events for your friends. And how I remember how I love doing arts and crafts, and one of the events that I want to bring back this year is doing the card making, ornament making workshop that we did before Christmas. And I thought that was really wholesome, and I'm excited to do that because yes, I'm not the most concert going person. Yes, I'm not the most person who like can cook or wants to cook all the time, but I am someone who can bring people together to do crafts and make handwritten cards for their friends and family, and it got me excited to do that later this year. And yeah, I think it's a really important reminder that when it comes to building community, to building friends, to building a life that you want to live, is that you want to surround yourself with people who are proactive, and you also want to be someone who's proactive too, because that makes for a really good time both for you and for your friends. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. I hope this sty gets better, and I'll see you on Thursday. Goodbye. Oh, indeed, the video continues further. One of the presentations that I actually remembered towards the end of me making the original video that you just watched was he wanted to, or they, I'm not sure, I don't know what their pronouns are, but they wanted to read more books and think about in their own journey, the reconstruction and deconstruction of religion. And there was something that was really interesting that they said along the lines of Greek gods, which I don't remember. But this is what I remember of what I was thinking of when they did bring that up, this like Greek gods in general. They were talking about how like we have, or at least Greek mythology, has all of these gods as it relates to different things, right? We have Zeus, and I have some chicken scratch notes. We have Zeus, who is the sky, thunder, authority god. We have Poseidon, who rules over the oceans and the earthquakes and is just super strong. We have Athena, who is all about wisdom and strategy and rational thinking. And we have all of these different gods who like do things to change the world. You get where I'm going? And so it got me thinking how really when we think about gods, it's that yes, the Greeks invented the gods, but what they were doing were just naming parts of human beings. And when I think about that, I think it's a little bit empowering, a little bit, in the sense that, are you a god? And I'm not saying that, yes, you are, but I'm saying like maybe you are. In the sense of we have here, well, again, I have this list of different gods. It's Aphrodite, who is the god of love, I believe. It's, oh, interesting. They have the ability to make people fall in love. But don't you also? The fuck? It's like looking at, let's say, Aries, who is very destructive and conflict oriented. It's, oh, but can't you do the same? Do you get what I'm saying? And this thought isn't really fully fleshed out yet, but I think it's another way to embrace agency, in the sense of a lot of these experiences that we have, whether it's making someone fall in love with us, resolving conflict, standing up for ourselves, being brave, providing for ourselves, being healthy, entertaining ourselves, entertaining others, all of these things, they have a Greek god to them. Because when, I guess, they were observing things, they were just like, yeah, there's got to be a god for that. But really, there's so many gods inside of you, but there are just so many gods inside of you. And I think that once we look at our lives in that way, then maybe it's a little bit easier to do some of these hard things. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that thought, but that's literally I will show you the note. That is literally what I wrote on my notes app that evening when the guy person was having like a like during the presentation. You know, the idea that Greek mythology, the people who are able to change the world, the weather, etc., are considered godly. In your own life, the way that you go into the world and then go about the world, you are changing things and people and circumstances. Maybe you are a god. You have agency. Are you a god? Also thinking about community built and the PowerPoint slides and yeah, power lint slides places. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I'm going to think about that a little bit more because I don't know. I feel like it's like a different angle to kind of encourage yourself to get things done, and also a different way to like look at things so that way you believe in your ability to make change in the world, whether in your own life or in your community. Anyway, that's it from me. Comment below something, please. Goodbye.